the basics. So if you follow me, I'm gonna start with just rollouts. Gonna go into red spawn. And as medic, your rollout's pretty simple. You just run. But really, what's most important is, as you already know, at the very beginning, you spawn, heal the demo up to full. Both your soldiers, they can usually rocket jump out here to the resupply cabinet, so you don't have to worry about healing them too early. You roll out with your demo, still keeping your beam on him. He's gonna jump, and at this point you're gonna switch to your soldier who isn't equalizing, usually your roamer. And if you have time, as your roamer jumps off, usually this tire. When he's in the air, you can usually flash your scouts. They get to mid with some buff. But if you can't do it, don't sweat it. So you latch back onto your soldier. You're gonna roll back out. Keep going until you get to yard. And at this point, you're just gonna decide whether or not you want to. What you're gonna decide beforehand, whether or not you want to roll choke, which is this way, or garage, which is this way. And you'll head with your pocket, who will drop his equalizer, and you'll heal him up to 300. Out to mid, and now you're at mid. So mid fights, I wanted to go over a few things. I want to go positioning, basically where can you stand so you won't die. Where do you want your own players to be, so you can yell at them, and Ubering on mid. So as far as mid fight, coming out through choke, you're probably going to be facing spam from the demo right away, so just be wary of any pipes, any stickies that you may have placed beforehand. Tell your soldier to shoot them if there are stickies like around here. But you want to try and your goal would be to, get to this position right here, and have your players kind of I wouldn't say clumped up, but like gathered around the point, have some players on the high crates, usually one soldier on the high crates. Demo right around where I'm standing next to you, or on the point. Your pocket, if your pocket next to you if things are going, pocket on the crates if things are going well, next to you if you're in a little bit of trouble. And this probably isn't going to happen, because this is like, absolutely perfect circumstances. Usually going to have players go down and whatnot. But ideally, that's what you want to happen, because once you get onto the point, you usually can reposition and start focusing spam on the combo and force them out of mid. Now, what's likely going to happen is you're going to get attacked by a scout from many of the flanks. So that's why it's important you have your scouts. One scout roll up top, and one scout roll around, just so they can tell you where their scouts are, so you can prepare beforehand. So if you get so now I'm going to go right away. What happens if you get attacked by a scout? So generally what happens, let's say a scout's coming around this corner. Someone calls for me, so I know beforehand. So what I can do is position myself. I can get into good, more defensive position, like use this crate for cover. And I want to tell my pocket beforehand. And what I want to do is, I don't want to just run away. I want to get really close right next to my pocket and kind of use him as a meat shield. And this also makes it easier for him, because his rockets have to travel less distance than if I were to run all the way over here. So just stay close to your pocket and use him as a meat shield. He should be able to dispatch of him quickly. And soldiers are a little bit more complicated. If Granary mid especially, you get soldiers jumping these crates, you get soldiers just jumping on top of you, and they're really hard to deal with. And usually if you get killed by a jumping soldier, it's not entirely your fault. But if you do, what happens, generally happened, what you generally want to do is, say they jump from those crates up there, they jump towards me, and I'm gonna land in this health pack area. Instead of having back up to choke to get some cover, what you actually want to do is kind of run towards them, because this makes you a lot harder for them to hit. Because if you back up, relative to them, you're moving pretty slowly, because they're also moving towards you. But if you move towards them, you're kind of going underneath them. Relative to them, you're moving at a much faster pace, so it makes them a lot harder to hit you. But again, you're not gonna be able to deal with them every time, so just do your best to dodge, jump around. Oh, that reminds me, with scouts, I forgot to mention this earlier, but you don't really want to be jumping with scouts, because that makes you a lot more predictable. You probably heard this. You just want to be using your strafe keys. You find you'll last a lot longer if you just kind of strafe around. All right. What else am I missing about mid? Where you want your players to meet? I kind of touched on that. You want your demo to be kind of on mid, sticking up like back where the combo would be, kind of keeping them back. You want want at least one soldier to be on the crate along with a scout if possible, denying soldiers and just getting some good height advantage. One scout watching the flanks and your pocket soldiers usually with you. Although something I like to do is right at the beginning of the rollout, have your soldier jump on top of crates, especially if their soldiers are being very aggressive. But I say go on top of crates, I mean just like for a very brief period, just to deny any initial attack, but fall right back down, because you really need your pocket with you at all times. Right, so I also mentioned getting Uber at mid. So obviously if you get a med pick, you really don't want to be using your Uber at mid if like a fight's still going down. If you guys can guys are in a good position and you think you have soldiers ready to jump on them, you all have pretty decent health, don't be afraid to pop in and just push them out. You should be able to kill their medic if you have a nice health advantage and decent player advantage. As far as falling back at mid, it's kind of the opposite. If you have notice your players are generally low on health, you're down at least 2 players from them, then you should just tell your team to back out. It's far better just stay back, regroup at yard, heal up, and just not lose any players, because you'll stand a much better chance than if you wipe. 1 second, let's go over my list. Obviously, pop it, don't drop it. You've probably heard this term before. Just if you get Uber, usually general is if you have a player on you attacking you, you go below 100 health, just pop it. I mean, it's you really don't want to drop an Uber. It just doesn't work out. If another reason to pop, like if you get forced to pop, would be if like your pocket would be running low on health as well. It's always better to save your pocket or your demo if they're about to die with Uber than just let them die. Because I mean, even if you save the Uber, you lose your demo or you lose a pocket, which are main damage dealers, so you're not gonna be able to win the fight anyways. So don't be afraid to pocket just to save one of your main players. Alright, let's move on from mid. So let's say we won mid. You generally want to have your scouts cap if possible, then move your combo into the garage. You want to be sitting usually on this ramp, because a lot of spam comes through this window, and sitting here makes you a little bit less vulnerable, because you can't. Most of it will be coming in like through here, and standing on that ramp makes you avoid most of it. You generally want a scout and soldier standing, watching this choke, peeking in, maybe getting a few chip shots, just to keep their combo under pressure. And if their soldier gets the opportunity, it's always from this choke. It's very easy to jump them and get the combo. But back to medic. Just stay in this area, heal up as many players as you can. Once you get Uber, try and I guess I'll go over some main push thoughts. With pushes, I read an article not so long ago about pushing, and I think he really said it well when he was talking about using a point system to calculate whether or not you should push. So the point system is pretty much used that each player counts as 1 point. Medic and demo count as 2 points because they're more important. So if you have all your players up, all of their players up, you can generally say that the points are even. If they lose a scout, you can say that you have a 1 point advantage. If they lose a demo, you can say you have a 2 point advantage. You know, that pretty much makes sense. If you have Uber advantage, they like to count it as 1 point. If you have if you know where the sticky traps are, you can count that as a point in your favor, because you can know where to push and you can pop later. And spawn advantage, something I won't go into, but you can also generally count that as 1 point. So using like that kind of point system, that idea, it can be a lot easier to tell whether or not you should push. And so say you're holding in here, you've gotten your pick, you're ready to push. You can either push in Uber with here, but the danger with there is that there's usually stickies right here. And so if you're not confident, or you don't think your soldier will check it, I would recommend pushing down here. And it's pretty much the same, but you're just likely to take more spam if you go through here. Jump into their combo, make them pop. And during Uber fights, you really just kind of want to not get tunnel vision, just stare down at your pocket. You want to be looking around, seeing if any flares need flashing, and just kind of keeping a general like idea of everything that's going on around you, because it's very easy as a medic to just kind of like zone in and keep focused on your pocket. With flashing, it's very important that you don't flash players unless you really have to, because when you flash a player with Uber, you lose around a second of Uber, so that gives the other team an advantage during Uber fights. Just if you I'm sorry, I keep losing my train of thought. If you just keep a watchful eye, just notice for any incoming spam on any player, just flash them to keep them alive. That's pretty self-explanatory. If you make the successful push, you generally want to hang out around here with your combo. Very important you have scouts watching this side, because this is a very easy flank to lose, and you want soldiers jumping on you. Pushing in here, again, watch stickies right there, very commonplace. This box as well. Sometimes some demos think they're clever will try and put it right there, because they think that blue sign will hide the stickies. Just keep an eye out for all those spots. Always ask your pocket to check. Yeah, that's pretty much it for that push. You can push lunchbox. I don't recommend it though, unless you just happen to find yourself positioned on the side. Why is he being here? Oh, okay, never mind. When you're holding last, this I say is where's where you need to be the most careful. The other team likes to run snipers, they like to run heavies, so you need to be what the fuck? Spike crap. Okay, sorry. you just need to be careful. I like if they're running a sniper, just wise idea to stay hidden, hide behind these boxes, or hide in lunchbox, or Z, some people call it. If they're running a heavy, you just need to be sure you tell your team that they focus down the heavy when you push in for Uber. Once you feel like you're ready to push, walk out. Make sure you check for stickies. You generally want to pop around this area and let your jump right before your pop right before your soldier jumps onto the combo. Holding Uber really doesn't make too much. Like waiting too long to pop really isn't too advantageous when pushing last. So don't be afraid to pop it a little bit early. As far as medic goes, I think that's pretty much it for pushing last. Just make sure you tell your combo to focus any heavy classes like the heavy I mentioned previously. And I think that's just about it for Granary. Are there any questions? What's now? Nope. Alright. I guess we'll move on to Granary. Let me see if anything I